Oh my goodness. It's so funny. Alright. So are
Okay.
we just listening? Is this just a band moment where we get to listen to you? For any of those people out there. So, alright, welcome everybody.
Welcome. First of all, we gotta do protocol right now.
This guy, you look like a fucking cowboy.
Here, you two.
What?
We gotta
Listen, I wake up in the morning,
protocol.
fresh and so clean. But I'll do it just to humor you and your cowboyness. You look like the guy from Mortal Kombat 10. Who's the guy from Mortal Kombat 10? He's like a Western guy. He's got a.
You tell me.
You know what? It's been a little bit since I played.
There's a lot of.
I forgot his name.
There's a lot of people wearing costumes instead of masks.
What is it?
They can't really get access to
Who's
the proper N95
guy
mask.
Mortal.
Those things are like gold right now, bro.
Characters. Mortal Kombat.
Oh man.
Hold on.
Man.
Let's see what you look like.
Do you have any Halloween costumes that you've thrown on your trip to the grocery store?
Yeah, I've been wearing me to the grocery store.
Dude, it feels like Halloween again, kind of. Hang on.
It's just it's a funny thing to me, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
Change this battery quick.
I feel like if you're in a hospital environment, you're in a healthcare environment. Oh, Aaron Black. You look like Aaron Black. That's it. He's got a cool name.
Is that a girl?
No, Aaron. Aaron. Aaron.
Aaron.
No, not Aaron. Aaron. ERRON. Aaron Black. You look like him. You got. You do realize that. I don't know if I should be more scared of you or you should be more scared of me at this point. I'm not really.
Why is that?
I don't know, cause like, cause you look like when you wear stuff like that hides most of your face.
Oh,
and
dude.
you don't.
I
You look like you're
I bet
about to hold me
robberies
up.
are on an all-time high right now. I mean,
Either that.
now it's a normal thing. In Asian countries, this is an accepted practice.
An accepted practice of what? Walking around like a.
Of any time you have like any sign of cold or sickness, then you wear a mask. Like here, it's not really a normal thing, but it definitely will be.
Yeah, but I mean, you got like these oversized. You have these oversized medical gloves on, right? These plastic gloves. They don't even fit. They're just like oversized. And then you have this.
It
looks like somebody's dirty T-shirt tied around your nose that you've literally let slide off your mouth.
I was wearing
like 5 to 10 times in the last hour.
I was doing a bandana for a long time, but it got dirty, so I had to wash it, and this is the only other thing I had. This is serious, dude.
But you're not.
This could be life and death for either. Probably not myself. I mean, I'm pretty healthy, but you never know. There are like different strains of it. But it's like, I don't want to spread it to anyone, and then it's just a compounding effect of, because obviously you can get it if you don't have symptoms, and
what's laughable?
It's the invisible enemy. It's the invisible war that we're fighting right now, and it's.
But you know what though?
Seriously.
You know what the laughable part about this whole thing is? and listen, anybody
it's
who's
not funny. Like
no, it's laughable, and I'll tell you, I'm not saying the situation's funny. I'm saying the thought process post this is funny to me, prediction wise, because realistically, you're flattening the curve, right? Like you're staying away from people, you're doing social distancing, you're keeping away, right? Realistically, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, even a month is not going to save your ass on a global pandemic, because you'd have to isolate yourself from the entire populace. Now, maybe that's possible for people who have $20 billion and have an underground bunker and enough food. They would have to pull themselves out of everything and not have nothing but their immediate circle and then isolate that from almost a year, probably 6 to 8 months realistically, because now what would happen? Excuse me. What would happen? Oh, can't cough now, right? Because it's like scary. But what would happen is that either everybody would technically get it over the 6 to 8 months, because even if one person gets it like later in the cycle, let's say everybody's sheltering for a month and a half, and one guy is coming off of it and he's still slightly contagious, and like you absorb it, then the cycle just reintroduces itself. So you literally have to have a period of at least 8 months of total, like pulling yourself out of a total situation, and then hoping that one, either everybody built herd immunity, right? So now it's not going around. Two, either the people who died off who had it, they just physically died off, and then three, there's no more trailing cases anywhere on the planet. And what I mean by trailing cases, even a small case of maybe the viral load isn't super high, but they retransmitted it during during the change in seasons. That's why it's such bullshit to me, because listen, I get it, the whole idea of this is and from my understanding is like to flatten the curve, meaning like you don't want an overload of people
exactly. That's what I was
in the
gonna say.
hospitals. But if you
It's like
think for a second that you're gonna be safe,
we're just holding off until the fucking government gets itself together.
But you know what though?
Money
but see, that's not what we're supposed to be about here. We're not supposed to be worried about if the government gets themselves together. You got to get yourself together. People out there have to get themselves together.
Like, we can't. I don't have a ventilator for my mom. If she, it's like there are people in place medical professionals to be able to deal with it, and we're not prepared.
Well, yeah, because you're not prepared for the influx. But in the meantime, what people are doing is they're just staying away. And a lot of people, their mindset is like, okay, well, let me just gear up and put myself in this house or whatever. I got to stay in this bunker or this tree house or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But the thing is that people should be immuning up, meaning like this is obviously a disease, right? It could potentially be a lethal flu. It's a lethal flu that can kill you if one of several things are
I don't
met.
think we should be saying flu, because flu has been...
It's considered an influenza strain.
Well, yeah,
right?
but I feel like people get the wrong idea when you say flu, because it's like, oh, seasonal flu. It's like not that big of a deal.
But the thing is no, it is a big deal because the flu does kill people. Number one.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Right?
But I feel like people, we can get our flu.
Well, but the second
whatever.
thing is, but it is a big deal because now this strain is in the populace. It's in the bloodstream of millions of Americans, millions of South Americans, millions of people in China, and anybody can it becomes now a standardized communicable disease. So that means that if you come into a community of people that have it in some way, you're gonna have to fucking fight it. It's not gonna be. It's something that you have to be worried about fighting. And so, what do you do to prepare for a war? Do you lock yourself indoors and start eating fucking spicy hot Cheetos? Like, what do you do? Is that your weapon, spicy hot Cheetos? Or are you gonna immune up, start taking the right supplements, start exercising, start conditioning your body? Because everybody that's died from this already, now I can't say this verbatim for every single one, but a lot of the ones that they made publicly available to people for the whole stay indoors, you're gonna die, have been people who are overweight. Okay, not just obese.
Bro,
I mean overweight.
We've heard this before,
overweight.
And it's not
No.
true.
It is true. It is true. It's very true. Now, even myself, you see how I cough a little bit? I had pre-existing condition. I was in black mold when years ago, about 10 years ago, and I damaged my lungs. So if I get a respiratory infection, I might have a good chance of dying. 50, you roll the dice, I might have a good chance of dropping dead. Now, I'd like to think that I'm in pretty good condition. I eat right, I sleep right, take care of myself. I take supplements, the right supplements, not just bullshit supplements. I immune up when I can. I exercise, and I practice good hygiene. I would like to think I do at times anyway. So the thing is that realistically, yes, if you look at some of the people who are getting it, and are become terminally ill, they're older people, right? Obviously, older people with their tired immune systems. We won't even call them weak. We won't even call them weak. They'll call them tired because old people, you get to a 70 fucking years old, you're fucking tired, bro. You're not used to fighting this crazy war, so your body is gonna shut down, especially if you haven't prepared for it. 2, obese people and people who are overweight, genuinely unhealthy. You don't have to. Now, I seen a kid, as fucked up this is, I seen a kid on the Twitter feed who died from the fighting game community, from the FGC. And they're like, oh, rest in peace, this kid. And I'm like, oh, fuck, man, that sucks. Like, it's horrible. And I watched it, and I looked at him, and I'm just like, holy shit, the kid's like, gotta be like 400 plus pounds. Like, he's genuinely, I mean, he's probably a sweetheart. I never met him, and he's probably a sweetheart, but he's really fucking heavy. Really heavy. And even some of the people who were like, the guy in Florida who got cured from the medication that they experimental, not 100% sure it's going to work for everyone. The chloroquine and the Z-Pak cocktail. Even him, when he was like on a ventilator and he was fucking terminally ill, he felt he was going to die. He's not in shape. He was a younger guy who was like in his like early 50s, right?
Wait, are you talking about the guy? Wait, in Florida who died?
No, the guy who
coming from Florida.
The guy who's coming from Florida who got cured from the medication. If you look,
first of all, like that medication is also, there are a lot of people that suffer from other things that need that medication.
Yeah,
and actually my cousin.
Okay,
I mean, this is a whole.
Lupus. But you're going off. Yeah, let's just stay on task.
Anyways,
let's
I'm just saying, like, that's another factor.
Okay, but you could create more. So the thing is that realistically,
she doesn't have access to it right now.
Realistically,
so
that guy was overweight. The guy you sent me. The guy picture you sent me, you're like, oh, I know. I mean, I met him once.
Yeah.
He's overweight.
It was like
he was overweight.
Like, it's like when you actually, like, it's someone that you have in your life, or it's like someone close to you that is affected by it. Like, it just becomes a whole nother thing. It's like,
it's fucked
this
up.
This is real.
Yeah,
man.
well, it is real, and I'm not saying it's not real, but
yes, he had underlying conditions, most likely.
He and then you know what? You don't even have to be like, people obviously equate being unhealthy with being just fat. Or being obese, right? Or being overweight. But you have the bad nutrition. You have people who smoke, who vape, right? People who drink too much. Drinking too much will lower your immune system. Drinking too much will lower your immune system. Yeah. You have all these fucking factors, and then people are like, oh, yeah. No, dude. Okay, so there was another woman who was like in her 40s, right? Who like, I was being related to in some way. And they're like, oh, yeah, she had 6 kids. She left the family behind. She fought cancer. And she died. And I was like, holy shit, right? And I'm like, dude, you fight cancer. You get chemotherapy. Your immune system gets fucking reduced by like 80%. You literally, you're eradicating your immune system with all that therapy.
Right.
So, yeah, you beat cancer, but now your immune system's in the fucking floor. So, yeah, I don't know. Is that a pre-existing condition? You've created that condition for yourself by finding cancer in some way. And then you have the other people, like, I read another story about Jersey family, like the mother didn't know that her kids died. I see the lineup of people all overweight. And again, you can have high cholesterol. You can have high sodium. You could just be a genuinely unhealthy person in some shape, way, or form. Dude, even not getting enough fucking sleep. You could be like just tired, like you're not getting at least 6.5, 7 to like 9 hours of sleep in that flux, depending on who you are, and you don't get that, and you are setting yourself up for a fucking disaster. And that's what I don't understand. Like, people at this time should, one, be like, they should have a fucking wake up call and be like, holy shit, yeah, I don't take care of myself.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I don't eat right. Holy shit.
Like you want to sort of, because a lot of people, I've heard, like, the depression levels, and it's not surprising, have gone up in people because they have anxiety. Like, news is flying at them left and right. They don't know what to believe, what's true. It's like that herd mentality too. I mean, we'll get into it more, but just the idea of mass purchasing things and like the fear factor, the fear mongering of people like stocking up on shit, and then it scares other people into be like, oh shit, like I need to.
Well, yeah, I had
stock
to.
Up on, like it's literally a domino effect that like is leading people to like bad places.
Well, I had to go I wouldn't say fear shopping, but I had the week this shit kind of really hit the fan, not when it started, but like we know people started buying toilet paper, but the week they started cleaning out shelves of food, of stuff you wouldn't even fucking eat, like I had to go, because I have to like feed everyone, right? So like I had to go buy extra of what I usually, but I didn't go ape shit. I didn't buy like a cart. I didn't buy 500 dozens of eggs. I bought like 5 or 4 because I want to eat a lot of eggs. Number 2, and everybody I know eats a lot of eggs. So like that's something I stocked up on a little bit, So that way when everybody was going, but it was so chaotic, like you can only keep it for so long. And then that's what I don't understand. Again,
Dude,
this comes back to the thing is that we're not people
Yeah.
aren't self-sufficient. In this modern day culture, people are not self-sufficient. They don't grow their own fucking food. They don't really take. They rely on the government
Just
for
one quick thing,
healthcare.
isn't it really funny that what you're saying about health is kind of counteracting what a lot of people are? They're buying non-perishables and like all the processed shit and the shit that lasts.
Well, listen. If this was the zombie apocalypse and I had to fucking eat something to survive,
Right,
it's
it's
one
not.
thing.
It's
Yeah,
not.
but
Yeah,
the first
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
the first thing, and it was funny because I see all these people racing, and I'm like, nobody, dude. People didn't even know how to. I literally have seen people online, and I've seen people that I've talked to. They're like, oh man, I'm learning how to cook. 30 years, you don't know how to fucking fry an egg. You don't know how to like fucking like toss yourself your salad there. You don't know how to like cook vegetables. Like and I can say that honestly, I wasn't raised healthy. I come from a really poor family who don't eat right, raised on the system. Just I didn't even know what a fucking avocado was until I was like 20. 19 or 20. I was like, oh shit, avocado, fresh vegetable. Every vegetable I ever ate was out of a fucking can. And this kind of escalated to a point, and you're not getting the same vitamin value out of a vegetable if it's coming out of a fucking can. And then on top of it, people cook it in water, which is even crazier to me. So and they don't even in school, home economics. I don't know if anybody out there remembers home economics, but home economics was essentially was like a life course. It taught you how to cook a little bit, how to make stuff.
I would have loved to.
Like they didn't even teach it to you. I think I was the last generation with people learning, like having home economics. They actually had an electric burner in the classroom and an oven, so you can actually cook stuff. And I think it was in like 9th grade that I had that, 9th or 10th grade. Home economics. But guess what? There is no home economics anymore because everybody's just easy. Everything just goes buy this, buy that. And it's funny because nobody is self-sufficient. So everybody's going racing out because they don't even know how to cook fucking a simple meal. They don't know how to cook a fucking simple meal. So and again, listen, I'm not a fucking Chef Boyardee. I'm not sitting here saying like, I can't, not saying I wouldn't eat like end of the world foods when there's nothing left, but the fact that I went to the store and everybody's racing to get the most unhealthy shit when they got the vitamins on the shelf, vitamins are fully stocked. You got all the fresh vegetables that you could freeze.
I've never seen that many bananas like I took all the bananas, man. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy thing what people go to. I mean, we could talk, and I've heard a ton of people talk about like, just like obviously no toilet paper, no paper towel, like. And that's crazy too to me. That's crazy. Like, and that's fucking. If it's the apocalypse, that's not the fucking first thing that I'm gonna go for, to be honest. But it's kind of funny that it's like being memed.
And not to mention that. I mean, listen. Everybody wants to wipe their ass in a happy state, but like, dude, there's 1,000 ways to do it.
You take a glove.
I don't even want to think about that with you right now with your fucking with your Wild West costume on, but like, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it, and we didn't run out of the water's still working. I mean, no one really looked at like, okay, what's really the most important thing? What's the really most important thing? And yeah, man. So like, this is a bad virus. Listen, all I'm saying is that I'm validating this is bad. I'm saying that you need to stay fucking healthy. You need to stay stressed, and even the stress. That's another thing too. People don't even fucking know. It's just like your stress levels actually control your immune system. So if you're always stressed and you're worried about shit, listen. If you fucking lost money, if you like, I just got off the phone with some associates and some people who are like, oh, you know, I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the stock market. Okay. It sucks. We all did. We all did. Everybody's got a loss at this point. And you could stress out about it, or and then obviously it's just, you know, it's internalized, but eventually this is all going to come to a head, and it's going to reset. We're at a reset point in our lives. People have, you know, this is something that hasn't been seen in over a fucking 100 years. And when there was, which was the real the last really big pandemic was the Spanish flu, and it was in like I don't even know. I think it was the late early 1900s. I think 1918 or 1918. Yeah, dude. My grandfather, when he's no longer alive,
but we were in community,
was
like,
born
travel,
in 1919.
But it's worse now because travel is a thing, and people like it's more easily
Correct.
contained. You know,
and
in the
500
past.
million people. It infected 500 million people.
Oh, wow.
So it infected 500 million people, and it killed 50 million. And that's because we didn't have the science. We didn't have the science then, right? We didn't have the same kind of travel. I mean, we did have travel, but it was a longer travel, right?
Yeah.
It's caused by the H1N1 virus, and it was with genes of avian origin.
Swine flu.
Yep. No, that's swine. It wasn't swine. Avian.
H1N1 is swine.
Yeah, with genes of avian origin, so it's bird. Aviation, avian.
But I could
H1N1 virus is strains caused by the H1N1 with genes of avian origin. Although there is not universal consensus regarding the virus originated, it spread worldwide during 1918 to 1919. It was first identified in military personnel in spring of 1918, and estimated that out of 500 million people, 1/3 of the world's population became infected with the virus. The number of deaths was estimated to be at least 50 million worldwide and 675,000 occurring in the United States. So most people from this era are either close to being centenarians.
Right here.
Yeah. So they're close. Oh, look at interesting at the CDC site, so they can tell you everything. How funny is that? So yeah, so
and the mortality
you're looking
high
at
in younger people, which is different. It was actually
5 years old, 20 to 40 years old, and 60.
It was actually the opposite. The mortality was healthy people, which is interesting.
No vaccine, no antibiotics to treat secondary bacterial infections. So yeah, so it was literally like it was a fucking game changer. So it was truly over 100 years. So 102 years ago. 102 years ago. So most people had not. Anybody who like was in their prime have not lived through this. There might be a handful, unless you're like 100 and like, I would say you'd have to be 115 or 120 to have to like remember this in your prime. So this is, so basically, if you were like, well, my grandfather died he died at 98 or 99, and he was born around this time. Yeah, so most of them, unless you're alive, unless you are like literally live right now, and you're like about 100, you have to be in the 3 digits easy. You have to be like 112 to 115 to have lived through this during the pinnacle of this whole thing. Like you'd have to have lived. That's how the age you had to be to remember any of this stuff. And that was a time there was it just wasn't it was a leveler, dude. It's a game changer. It would literally became survival of the fittest, because there was no antibiotics, there was minimal travel.
Right.
It was just like you're fucked, dude. And that's what it's interesting to me, because now we have all this stuff, right? Now we have all this stuff, and it's like, well, you know, people are gonna die. Well, because it's the survival of the fittest thing again. It comes back down to it. It really does. And you know, I don't want it to sound horrible, but I mean, I could be taken out. I mean, dude, if I had this, like, I was whatever, People
Yeah,
haven't
well, I
seen people haven't seen anything like this in
I'm
100
just
years. So
saying,
most
like-
people, most of the populace is not ready for this, and they have no fucking idea. And because they don't have any idea, they don't know what to expect and what to do. So everything is like literally like shutting down. Everything is like collapsing
Yeah,
around
it could
them.
have. I feel like it could have been contained, prevented before it just went over all
And-
over the world.
Well,
But I want to transition a little bit into like asking you a question that I've been thinking about, and which is this a strictly okay? You know, virus, you know, horrible. But as far as economically, is this a preview of what is to come? Like everyone's, you know, filing for unemployment. Obviously, you know, we were sort of in a shift of you know, jobs, and with technology, the advent of new technologies and AI to like for people to be replaced by people's jobs to be replaced. And now that a lot of, you know, restaurants, service-based jobs are going, you know, people are really finding out what it's like to live in a world where, you know, delivery only. There are limited staff at physical physical businesses.
well, let me tell you something. So necessity is the mother of invention, right? So
Is
if
this a
you're
shift
forced to do it,
forever?
absolutely,
Like-
absolutely. Because I've seen specifically at some of the small business levels, people have to modify how to continue to make money. If they want to continue to make money, I've seen a ton of people just spin up online courses right away. Like the things that
Dude,
were put on the things that were put on the back burner have now been accelerated.
It's interesting how schooling is shifting. Like all, you know, these classes that are.
I mean,
happening
it's funny
online.
because people complain about homeschooling. Oh, you homeschool. Well, guess what? Now you're gonna homeschool.
Right.
And I don't even think most people are doing it correctly. I'm not gonna sit here and I don't want anybody coming at me and be like, oh, well, you know, you do it right. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying like people complaining about things or doing certain things a certain way. And, you know, this is creating a riptide, man. This is creating it's actually creating stuff. So yes, you know, the negative perspective is that yes, it's awful. There's going to be an exchange of wealth. There's going to be changes in spending. Inflation is going to go through the fucking roof. People don't really understand, you know, they don't really kind of look at the bigger picture. But the bigger picture is like even you know, everybody talks about like, oh, America was doing great, the economy is this and that, but like it's kind of like bullshit since 2008. And I know, you know, I don't know that you've really involved in the economy as much as I was in 2008, but
Yeah,
during
no.
the housing
I was
crisis
in
and the
fucking-
credit crunch and then all that stuff, that, you know, after we came out, like all of a sudden this magic was like, oh, here's free money, here's stimulus, oh yeah, we're doing great. But there hasn't been any creation of value from America in general. There hasn't been. It's all kind of like a smoke and mirrors thing, that it's like, yeah, we're doing great. Well, who says you're doing great? We say you're doing great. We're doing great, you know? And it's like, okay, but you're not. And you can, like, you know, you could, that's why, honestly, like, as fucked up as it is, I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy theories, and I don't want to go into that, but I do
kinda
believe,
want to.
I do,
find
and I
it-
don't, you know, and we can save
find it
that for
interesting.
something else, you know, or if you want to hear me talk about shit on just one-to-one. But the thing is that realistically, you know, we should bring back manufacturing to the States. You know, we're not saving that much money by getting fucking poor quality goods from fucking China, where everybody's selling their shit out and everybody's dealing with copyright fucking problems being knocked off and all of this and all that and underhand. I mean, you spend just as much money to oversee the production quality and make sure everybody's playing fair versus just paying some extra money and just fucking getting it done here. And there's, you know, and they're going to be lower level, maybe there'll be lower level jobs, but at least there will going to be lower level jobs in here, and we're actually creating our own value. And that's why I feel like this is happened is forcing people to think in a different way. And every, you know, big shift requires a thought process. The people who are going to think and do is going to be a big deal. And that's why, honestly,
Is
you know,
it-
if anybody's watching this and I have a program that I'm going to show you guys, like if you had lost everything tomorrow, which a lot of people have, and, you know, and I have myself, if you lost everything tomorrow and right now and you wanted to get back on top, and you could, had no tools, no resources, and you needed to make money, I'm going to show you how I did it. I'm going to show you how, because believe me, if anybody, and it's funny too, because a lot of people are obviously panicking and a lot of things, and there's a thing that's going around, and it's really interesting. It's just like, well, if you're not worried, if this health thing hasn't worried you and has to stress you out, then is there either something wrong with you or you're a fucking product of chaos. And guess what? I'm a product of chaos. That's it. I'm a product. And you know what? To me, it's just like, it's the same thing like introverts. And they're like, oh yeah, you're an introverts love this. I mean, yeah, they love it to some extent, but it's, they still want to be able to like go somewhere and do something introverted within the social construct. You know what I'm saying? Because being an introvert doesn't mean that you just literally like, you end up like, like Will Smith, in I Am Legend shit, just fucking talking to yourself every day. But, it's within the social construct. So essentially, yes, this is a big shift for finance. It's a big shift for people thinking or about how they proactively assert business. And it's got people up their ass. And others, it's kind of just been the opposite. Others, it's like fucking how many hot spicy Cheetos can I eat, and how many I'm gonna be gamer dad and hang out and just play video games all day, and I just think this is a time when people should be rising up and thinking about, even if it's something in the entertainment medium, and like think about and make it proactive. There's a lot of time here to like really think and read and research and do and take action. I mean, this is the time, really. It really is the time. And because the shift is going to happen once you like it or not. And if you're caught on the low end of the spectrum, then you're going to be suffering for the long haul. And if you like to fucking suffer, and suffering is good sometimes, it's just a part of life.
Do you think that
but
the big business, the 1% is going to take advantage of this whole situation and
yeah,
drive
because
small
they're
businesses into the ground?
But when you say take advantage, what do you mean by take advantage? Can you get specific with me when you say take advantage?
Just I mean, I don't want to get
no, you need to be specific. But you asking me
on YouTube, but
you're not gonna be banned on YouTube.
Yeah, and maybe we shouldn't.
No. You open the can, dude. You're not.
Conspiratorial.
This is the Get It show. We're gonna get to the bottom of stuff. You're not gonna die. Stop being a fucking.
Anyways, I mean, obviously, small businesses are having a tough time staying afloat during this time, and they're gonna have to, obviously.
But what do you
apply
think?
For loans and all this stuff, and like, and the big companies are gonna stay halt. I mean, hold.
But what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do though? What are they
until-
gonna do? What were they gonna do to take advantage? Exactly.
Like, they're gonna buy all these small businesses, and it's gonna be a fucking monopoly, like monopolies on monopolies.
They're gonna buy all these small businesses.
Yeah.
Well, what small businesses are gonna buy? Well, they have it knocked out with their own competition. They can knock people out the door automatically. What businesses are small businesses gonna buy?
They're
gonna buy medium to large businesses actually. And you know what? They don't have to sell.
The smallest of businesses are gonna fall.
No, because I had a guy over here who had a great donut shop for years, for like 15, 20 years. And the fucking landlord sold out to fucking Starbucks, knocked his fucking whole building down, and fucking pushed him out. He didn't need a pandemic to do that.
I'm just saying it.
Well, I just want to get specific.
I mean, you're seeing it left and right. Even freelancers like me are having a tough time getting work and finding. I mean, like you said though.
But it's forcing you to rethink the process in which you operate on. Even me, my company, I'm offering a stimulus. I'm offering my own way to work with people to put out value, and that's what I think people don't understand. Putting out value. People always looking for money. They're looking for it to like, oh, I need to make some fucking money. How do I grab the money? Grabbing the money, when money is fucking just printed and worthless and it's always being grabbed at and everybody's grabbing it, yeah, it's great, grab it. Eventually it runs out. But what happens, the people that really win and stay is because you're doing more value. Right now, farmers are the fucking, if you're a farmer and you own a farm, you have fucking chickens and food, and you got all kinds of shit, right? You're the wealthiest person in the fucking world right now. If you can't do anything and you need to survive, who has the power? And those guys were taken advantage of for years by big business. But if big business crumbles, they can actually rise up, and then it could be like, oh shit, you know what? Fuck these guys. We're gonna go direct to the public. Dude, even me, I order and listen. Anybody who wants to see the shit that I get, check the links in the video description, and I'll show you. I'll give you the sauce on everything. All the stuff that I get direct from a lot of direct farms. So they do their own packaging. You know, maybe it doesn't come in 2 days, prime or whatever, but I'm getting shit like directly. I'm not having some company repackage it and give me less and give me the less quality. I'm actually going to the source. And a lot of these farmers in any of these companies, they don't even know like how to market and sell because they weren't taught, because another bigger business. But now it's forcing them to do that. It's forcing them. If they want to stay in business, they want to make money, they're fucking finding it. And that's why with guys like myself, you know, even I have to shift my thought process. You know, it's not about the money. It's about the growth. It's about growing, providing value. And in exchange, if you're able to do all that stuff, the money will come flowing, bro. Will come flowing right into your life. If you can show the value and you can give the value, because the thing is that dude, it's like anything else. I want eggs. Okay, I want to learn how to fix something. Are you gonna fix it? You're gonna be a damn good mechanic. You're the best fucking mechanic there is. You keep learning. You keep earning. You provide value. You'll keep growing your business and yourself. And you'll just get referrals. You don't even need at that point to be like, oh yeah, this is the best packaged like dried apricots ever. It's so much better than going to Whole Foods and spending $22 a pound. And I got it for like half the price, and you know I didn't get it in overnight delivery, but I got it in 4 days, and I'm happy, and my life is great, and I'm healthier, and that's what I'm trying to say. There's definitely a shift and a flux where this is happening, and it's going to happen one way or another, and anybody who weathers the storm is going to come out stronger. This is a fucking shakeout, bro. This is a shakeout. So you can be, you can either be the salt shaker, or you could be the salt inside the shaker getting fucking swallowed up. One or the other.
Oh no.
Does that answer your question?
Maybe you shouldn't use salt at all.
A little salt doesn't hurt anybody once in a while.
Anyway,
your body needs salt.
Hey, you know,
real salt.
You know, a positive out of this whole thing, we got to look at the silver linings. You know,
What?
less pollution.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
You know what I'm saying? Less traffic. It's
I mean,
it sort of does sometimes feel like a post-apocalyptic, you know, and no one's out there. I mean, I can't even. They shut down, you know, the parks, so I can't even run there because like people were like. Everyone was like going there to kind of get outside and get some vitamin D.
When everybody's breathing heavy.
Now, you know, I have a schedule, so I'm trying to, you know, stay sane and stay creative and stay productive. And there is sort of that feeling sometimes, you know, before the whole thing where, I mean, I do stay at home a lot of the time for my work and editing and stuff, but sometimes I feel the need to go out and accomplish things.
Of course.
You know, get food.
Of course. You want to be a part of life.
Etc.
Yeah.
But now it's like the forced seclusion is actually making me more productive in certain areas. Because now I'm like, you know, wake up, make breakfast, go for a run. I mean, not that I wasn't doing that before, but it seems like I'm more stringent. Everyone's working from home, you know. You get to catch up with people, call people, which is always a good thing to keep you from going insane.
Well,
everyone's in this situation together. And it's like, I was telling you before, like, it's like, although we are separated, it sort of feels like the human species is closer than ever. You know
okay, so let me go there now. So I made a shirt, and everybody check out my shirts. I made coronavirus shirts. I happen to like them.
All right. Send me. Let me put them up here.
And
can you send me?
I can send you. I can send you one of them. I'll send you one.
Yeah, I mean.
And I'll send you the links in the description of the video. You guys get to. Where are you, buddy? Where are you? And so the thing is that okay, so you don't agree with me. So let's show it to everybody and see if everybody out there understands this. Okay, I just sent it to you on
Skype.
Yeah.
By the way, do you everyone's on Zoom now. How do you feel about Zoom as opposed to Skype or Google Hangouts or all those
each one's got its own.
Because like now they're coming out saying Zoom is revealing information to Facebook about people's information.
I don't give a shit,
So-
dude. Play by the rules. Play by your own rules. Set up. It just goes to show you that you shouldn't put all the eggs in one basket. And I talk about that all the time, like putting all those eggs, bro. You drop that basket.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
I mean, I don't even
there's
use
certain
Zoom
company,
really.
like,
I mean, I know people that do, but I don't even use that half the time. I use other softwares and services and.
well, like proprietary software.
Yeah, well, that aren't as popular. That meet my needs. I mean, there's companies. There's like WebEx. There's GoTo. There's Skype, and it depends on what you're looking to do.
Here we go.
So
It's
now you
kind
tell
of
me
a
you didn't
cool
understand
visual.
this. You didn't understand this.
I mean, I sort of maybe got what you were trying to say, but it's kind of weird that they're just back to back. They're literally less than 6 feet apart. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I mean, yeah, they're
it's
socially
6 feet.
distant.
Would you want me to
because
put
they're
them 6 feet
But
apart?
maybe
How
they're
would you get that on the
talking to
shirt?
each other, and they are being social, but they want to stay safe because they're trying to cover their mouths and stuff from the virus.
Well, this is
I
actually
don't
got
know.
a double meaning. This shirt, and I'd actually
All right,
like. I
explain
want
it to
people
me.
you know what? I actually don't really want to explain to you, but I do want to talk about how this is applicable to a lot of different, like in life. And you're telling me like, oh, everybody's more connected. Everybody's more connected.
I truly
Yeah,
feel that.
people
yeah.
are connected in the form of informationally connect, like if that's in a fucking word, like they're informed and they can share data back and forth, but to engage and to be actually like social is a totally different fucking thing. And you're telling me that you don't get this. And
I mean, I think I get what you're saying, like, before this whole thing, like, people were already socially distant, right?
yeah, because that's the thing. Is it's like yeah, you could literally be somewhere hanging out and just standing in place, and there's somebody behind you looking down at their phone, communicating info to somebody else, not connected. Communicating info and being engaged and connected is two very different things.
So you're saying in this world, if I may, extrapolate this, is more than just the exchanging of words and communication. It's like it has to use all our senses, basically, right?
Of
Our
course,
sight, our
of
sound,
course.
our touch,
Of
all
course.
of this stuff.
All
to,
of it.
To be truly connected with the people around you.
To true, yeah, because we are, and that's why this is affecting people in general, even people who are introverts. Again, because
Bro,
being an introvert,
I've been
being
preparing
an-
for this for my whole life.
yeah, but being an introvert
As
and
they
not
say.
being, but it doesn't mean you don't want to be part of the social construct. That means that you
I
still,
feel
that you
less
just
bad about
choose to
staying
be X, and when these X and Y, Z, and A, B, C are happening around you,
Right.
it has nothing to do with you just not wanting anybody else on the planet to exist. it's just a totally different beast. So that's what, and that's the funny part about it, is that it does apply. Now everybody, and again, I know what you're saying. You're like, oh, we have more information. Yeah, we're connected to the point of information. Like we're exchanging information, we're showing all this stuff, but we're not engaging. And I've had this situation happen to me before, where I would go out to a social place and people are sitting at a bar. I'm celebrating something at a dinner, and I'm at a bar, and it's like a dude here, a chick here, and and this is like current, maybe like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and I was like late at night, no one's hanging out, and I'm just like, oh hey man, what are you eating there? Oh hey, and I'm having a conversation. And it's like, and you're like, what the fuck? Why even come out of your fucking house? Why even coming out of your house? You're not even engaging with the human. You're not even being human. At that point, you're just worried about communicating to the ether. And the thing about it is, and this is a funny thing, and you said, well, yeah, we're connected. We're sending messages. And dude, I can spoof shit if I really want to. You don't know who the fuck's on the other end, dude. In fact, as a marketer, right? And you know, not that I'm giving up like some secret sauce, but people create. I mean, there's things people buy 50,000 fake Facebook likes and social profiles. I could I could take your phone number and text somebody else with it, and they won't even know they think it's fucking you. Did you know that? Did you know I could do that? Yeah. There is so much shit that I can do that can make it look like you're talking to a human being and you're not a human being. Because you know why? The fucking element that exists is the engagement. It's me being able to look in your eyes, read your body language, smack you in the face, smack your ass if I gotta. Go do something. I mean, hey, listen, I'm not talking about telling people go smack asses or smack faces. Maybe you want to do it. Maybe you want to wild out. I don't give a shit. But I'm just saying, like, ultimately, that has been happening way before this whole thing. Standing 6 feet away means no difference. And on top of it, like I said, this shit's gonna be around. This is in the biological ecosystem now. This is something that's gonna be here for a fucking long time. It's not going away. All you can do is fucking immune up and take care of your nervous system. You know, immune up, do healthy things. And it's such a fucking wake up call to me, which is funny to me.
It's interesting though. Like, I feel like the stir craziness or the perceived stir craziness from everyone being at home, like you said, it's like, you know, a lot of people have been like this. A lot of people don't go out every day and talk to people, but it's like making an excuse now and for people to reach out to others on FaceTime, video chat. You know,
yeah, because it's a part.
Okay, so it sort of feels like, you know, we're sort of waking up to wanting to be connected in this time where we're all facing the same problem.
Well, I think we all have a unified
like, I'm
grievance.
watching the news. I never watch the news, and I like want to know what's going on every single minute. And it's sort of like, and it's talking to people, talking to, you know, you, like, yeah, I don't want to say, I mean, this is like a tough situation for a lot of people. I
mean, every time I look at you, it's hard. I'm sorry, I don't mean to not keep looking in your face, but you look like you look like you're about to fucking rob the studio. Every time I look at you, you have these white gloves on or over. Where did you get those? Where did you get those gloves?
What's that Mario character? The evil
Wario.
Wario.
Yeah, but where did you get those gloves?
The store.
No. Did you like clean? Did you get them from like your bathroom before you clean your toilet bowl? Like, where did you get those gloves?
No, I bought them at the store.
The COVID compliant gloves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're actually cooking gloves, so.
They're
cooking. Actually, it's nice.
Why is it yellowing? It looks like it's yellowing on the tips. Is that?
It's probably just my oils that are on the inside. But
how long have you been wearing those today?
Nice. Let me talk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I recommend wearing gloves because, you know, the amount of times that you wash your hands per day can get really irritating on your skin. It can lead to cuts and dry skin and all that. But you can wash your hands with gloves on and just take them off, you know, and your skin's nice and moist.
Yeah, nice and
nice
you're
and
sweating inside of
nice and baby soft, you know. Sometimes it may.
How long have you been wearing those today? How many hours? Did you wake out in the morning? You know how you put on like socks and underwear? Like, did you just put those on immediately upon like rolling out of bed?
No, I'm not that.
Okay.
That obsessive.
You know, there's people. I have an uncle. My uncle's wife is like making him take off clothing at the door and strip down, and like fucking hose him down like this is like a.
Do you think it's do you think it's too much
that going to jail?
That people are disinfecting their groceries after they come home? Do you think?
What do you mean disinfecting? How do you fucking disinfect groceries? I mean, wipe down grocery
and or spray with disinfectant.
You know, I mean, if it makes them feel better. Listen, at the end of the day, if it makes you feel good, do it. If it makes you feel good, if it gives you a sense of, if that's gonna give you a sense of, I'm gonna live longer, and whatever. If that gives you a sense of stability in your mind, then fuck it, do it. If it makes you feel good, do it. But at the end of the day, the reality of the situation is
I feel safer. I honestly, you know, I might do this, you know, normally. I mean, come on, like I kind of feel like I'm in a video game.
I just don't want to live life like this. I'm like, I don't want to be a walking fucking condom all the time. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to touch and feel things.
When I'm going on my runs, like around my neighborhood, you know, I'll see people, you know, running with masks too and gloves, and I'll give them a, you know, Like a little,
I mean, maybe running
like-
with it, like in the same track, and I could. And I mean, I don't want to inhale your exhale directly, like,
but like
within
we just have
3
a,
feet.
a, you know,
so
a mutual connection of, you know, this time is crazy. Like, stay safe.
Yeah.
You know, it's that type of thing. It's that type of unity. In a
what about
with all of
let's
us that are
let's get
focused on the
specific
same
now.
thing.
So now you got all this going on, right? What happened if, like, all of a sudden, like, the romance, you started to get romantic with somebody, and they wanted to get physical with you? What would you do now? Would you take off? Would you just go through this and be like, this is how we have to unfold our relationship, or would you take the risk? Especially if you're on a scale from 1 to 10,
know,
and let's just say the
viruses
girl
viruses can't go through your pee hole, so it's fine.
they can't go through your pee hole.
They
Yeah,
can't
but
go through your, you know, the orifice. Your
well, actually, they
sexual
said that
organs.
this could go actually through feces. I don't know, how
Through your
kinky
butthole?
it gets for you.
So as long as your orifice is up here, you know.
So you don't.
you're
So you
not-
that you don't think that the foreplay would. You don't think that it would actually affect
hey,
anything.
You know, some people are turned on by the whole.
But you don't. You don't.
Doctor foreplay.
Yeah, I know, but like
10.
you still have to use your tongue and your mouth, and like that you have to take this off. It's just. Do you think? I'm just serious. I'm just being. I'm not even fucking around. Like, I'm being serious
I
here.
mean, honestly,
If you had one, if a
honestly,
scale from
dude,
1 to
if I
7,
was-
and
if
you're
I-
a scale
if
and you
I
had a
wife-
7.
If I had a girlfriend and wife I was dating for a long time.
No,
Yeah,
you
I-
weren't. Let's say you didn't have a girlfriend or wife for a long time. You met somebody maybe I'll set up a dating COVID connect.
This is a fun
Oh
skit.
shit! I just thought about a new site, COVID Connections. Oh, I'm gonna write that down,
That's
bro.
Too soon, bro.
COVID Connections.
That gives people the opposite.
Connections.com.
Yeah.
So okay, let's just say
That makes me
this
think
is why
like
they-
there's like people with COVID that want to connect because you're
Well-
both immune now.
yeah, exactly. So let's just say, but one person's not. Let's say you meet somebody like on COVID Connect,
So does that mean-
dating site or something, right? Let's just say it's not COVID Connections, but let's just say that.
COVID connection.
And let's just say this is I'm so good at what I do. so,
All right, if you want to tell yourself that.
so I am. I
Whatever-
do. This is
whatever
what
makes
these
feel
are
good.
important. These are important. It does make me feel good.
But
so I'm
it's
going to think.
interesting, like
So let's just say you meet somebody. Let's say you're on a website, right? On a dating website, or it could be local or international, and then you start getting. You're like, hey man, why don't you just come over to my house? And after you get through the whole thing of then you being a creeper, or them perceiving you as a creeper, like what would you do if they were on a scale from how first of all, on a scale from 1 to 10 in physicality of you being attracted to them, what would you have to do to be in risk of not knowing who they've been in contact with to not take that infection, potentially get it? What would the number be?
wait, you're saying a rating of
Yeah, so
attractiveness?
you were connecting with somebody online, right? You liked them, they were hot to you, they were attractive to you. You invited them over your house. You're like, okay, on a scale from 1 to 10 and being attractive, how much would you have to do to start to strip off the anal probing gloves and the Wild West mask?
I mean, that's a trick question because if they were
What
like a
is it?
supermodel hot, I'd be like, something's fishy. Like, you trying to get me sick. Because, like, why would they be so down? Like, I don't know.
This is
It's,
serious questions. It's serious
honestly, I don't
times,
know. Here,
bro. In the next 6 to 8 months, you're gonna be dealing
Here,
with
let me,
potential
let me play
COVID
this-
connections.
Let me play this meme for you, and hopefully we won't get but it deals with that very thing.
What COVID connections?
No, just like me like letting someone in your house. Oh, here it is.
Letting some of your house do what? To
Wait, is this it?
go and ask
Oh,
them
yeah,
out?
yeah,
like I
right,
don't
right,
know
right,
what you're just getting at. I'm just
So,
confused.
Right. Fuck,
I'm just
where'd it go? Oh, here
I'm
it
just
is.
not quite sure exactly. What is this?
Hang on.
I don't even. I love the mask.
When did you self-quarantine?
2 weeks ago.
When you see people, how far do you stay away?
6 feet.
Are you willing to submit to a thermometer test?
Yeah, of course.
98.6. How many roommates do you have?
Just one.
What's her Instagram?
Lulu G.
Hey, what's up? I gotta go, yo. I'm dead.
So that's probably what I would be like.
Hey,
When
So
did you self-quarantine?
2 weeks ago.
When you see people, how far
It's-
do you stay away?
6 feet.
Are you
essentially,
willing to submit to a thermometer?
he's like he's going through her friends to make sure that her friends don't have it. So it's like that's the measures I would, bro.
Up.
We gotta disinfect you right now.
Hold on. Let me drink some tea. Let me mute up with some tea. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, he's making a joke of it, but like, I'm asking you personally. Like, you know, I mean, do you think? I mean,
yeah, no,
I'm really
fuck
not
no,
into.
dude. Fuck no. I'm waiting until this is all over before I
Oh, really?
get back.
Like
into
I said,
the
you
game.
got about 8 months, bro. You're gonna have to weather this storm. It's gonna be.
Actually, I did stop talking to someone that I was talking to.
Oh, really?
Like,
They've
because of
affected.
this.
You've been affected and effected. Crazy times.
Cause you never know, man. You never know. You know, Pornhub made their premium free, and now it's called the Stay-at-Home Hub.
You know,
on the front
did it
page.
require a
Nope.
credit card to
No,
sign
it
up?
Didn't. It didn't.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was gonna
tried
say
it.
that's a pretty good marketing scheme because they literally get no.
Like literally anyone can just get the premium now. That's funny.
you
you
could
don't even have
you
to
could sign
enter
up with a
your
credit
email.
card, not get
Yeah.
charged for 3 months, maybe 4, and then all of a sudden you're.
So
I don't know how I feel about that though. I don't know how I feel about that. I just think it's just like, it's like pandering to like, oh, it's all right, who cares? Like, I could just do this after the pandemic. Like, I don't know. I think it's this kind of
So-
rolls it back to 1985. Kids gonna have to do some street dancing, some fucking outdoor barbecues.
Think about the sex industry, like the prostitution industry. That's probably.
Well, I don't
completely
even.
fucked.
Prostitution's whatever. I mean, if you're gonna take the risk, you're gonna take the risk one way or another.
Adult industry in
But I
general.
will say that I do feel a little bit bad for strippers, because strippers are on a different spectrum.
Yeah,
you know,
every
because
single
like,
club is closed. Yeah,
because like so they have to go right online, and honestly, they probably make more online, which
Oh,
would
yeah.
suck. Because
Cam malls
then again,
and
what
shit.
about the people who
Yeah.
like to go see strippers? What about that? So now it's gonna be like, oh well, I don't want to be a stripper. I could just go behind my computer, and it's like, oh, I don't know. It's just very.
Yeah.
It's creating a different flux. Maybe now they get a higher premium. Maybe they don't have to drive all the way from California to Vegas. I don't know. I just know.
Like just talking about how every industry is transitioning. Even like delivery. I mean, honestly, and we talked about it a little bit, but I think industries are being forced to shift, and technology will adapt and like kind of fast track in this way of doing stuff remotely, and like everything.
Well,
is gonna
again,
be
I think the
remotely.
option. I mean, they've been having a while this whole thing with
Like
like
VR is gonna-
the whole thing with the medical doctor with the the Zoom style, like WebEx medical doctor, the phone doctor. I feel like all these things should be available. I don't think they should be the standard. I mean, having this available to you and having it as a standard are two very different things. So
Some industries are gonna be like, oh yeah, keep on working from home because this is actually people are more productive. They're not in they don't well, I guess it depends on who you ask, but like some people are more distracted in the workplace because they have their boss breathing down their shoulder, and they're not in an environment.
well,
where
I
they
think, and it's really interesting you bring that up because obviously, for years I had a centralized office where we had like tons of people coming in, sitting on traffic and doing this, and I talk about this actually in a lot of my videos, being 9 to 5 mentality is like, well, we gotta get on the road. It's gonna take an hour and a half to get to work, an hour and 10 minutes,
exactly.
and then like, oh, gotta leave. It's 4:50, getting ready, and the mentality has to switch because one, it's not even productive. Number one. Number two, it's like a job trying to get to your job. I mean, literally when I mean, every so often I do consulting, for Silicon Valley and Silicon Beach, and I mean, from like where I am to going all the way in that side of town, it's like, holy shit. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. It's like a job to get to my job, and it shouldn't have to be like that. And especially in, I mean, I guess, certain industries, people have to do X or Y throughout the day. But I definitely think that like the 9 to 5 mentality should just go away. It should just go away because it's not, everybody's trying to do the same thing at once. You're all going in at the same exact time. The pipe is stuck. It's stuck. You got a little bit here, a little bit goes in, a little bit goes in, a little bit goes in, you know, like here. But like the whole pipe is stuck, and this is kind of forcing people to like think differently about that pipe. But there is a detractor to it. So the detractor is like understanding and be able to condition yourself mentally to be able to be productive as possible. And there are things in that. So if you guys haven't subscribed already, subscribe now. And subscribe now. Hit the button. And you guys go as I talk about having to be productive in a solo and self-inspired environment. So, I mean, believe me, I've been doing it for years. I've gotten more and more productive over time. And, you know, you'd be surprised, and I talk about this, you're really not much more productive than about 4.5 to 5 hours a day at maximum. Everything else after that, you start to wind out. And if you're not being as productive as possible, why even do it at that point? Because it's just like, it flows back to like a lot of the 80-20 where it's just like, okay, well, if I'm focusing on this right now, and it's not to say that you shouldn't focus, but the productivity isn't there. If your head's not in the game and you're not being productive, then it's fucking pointless. And really, you know, for your job to get to your job, and then like a job to get back to home, to think about your job for the next morning about what you're going to be jobbing is fucking crazy. And again, it's not to say that the in-person meetings aren't important. It's not to say that, like, you know, the community is not important. But I definitely think there should be a hybrid of the two that start to take hold. And I think it's after this it'll be like that. I also think that a lot of companies will still be averse because they don't want to have to deploy all this new school
all the Amazon
scenarios.
Employees, like factory workers, are going on strike and stuff.
Well, that's another thing too. So certain things have to be done in a time frame. But even those things, even deliveries, like, you know, the whole system. Like, let's just say delivering, right? So delivery from the mail is like, oh well, usually most of the mail comes in the morning from like 7 o'clock to like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. So like 7 to 7. Maybe you shouldn't have to deliver that mail all the time. Maybe the packages should be picked from this hour to this hour and get breaks. I mean, we should really take concepts from other countries, like, you know, taking a nice midday closure, you know, breaking up and systematizing, you know, the process of, you know, intense labor. Even that, you know, I'd rather have you take a break. If you're, you know, building shit on my house, work for 3 hours, pound shit out, go back, get a drink, have food, shoot some pool, fucking go bowling, come back and finish the job. You know, like, I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to do, whatever strikes you as fancy. Like, I just think that your head will be in the game more, and you can work the same amount of hours, but I think it's just the concentration of having to do everything at once kind of puts people in a bad mode. You know, not everybody could be self-motivated too, and that's the other thing too. Being self-motivated is a very important factor, and it's, you know, there's a lot of mental conditioning involved. So, but
that's what I was saying, like with the depression and people just like freaking out and being paranoid and stuff, like that leads to demotivation about whatever they're dealing with at that time, and that could lead to a lot of serious issues. Like we've been talking about the health, you know, lowering your immune system. It's like compounding effect, but we got to stay positive, right? We gotta, and it's like, I think it's more than ever, like obviously you and me and certain people already have practiced and conditioned ourselves to be productive at home, but a lot of people are having to like figure that out right now because they're
hey man job. No better than now.
They're flying, like it's a, you know, record unemployment. Fucking system is shutting down from all these applications.
I mean, it's like there's no better time than now.
Maybe a lot of those unemployment people can transition to, you know, finding ways to make money online.
There is, and guess what? And guess exactly, there's a ton of ways, and thank you for bringing it up. There's a ton of ways to make money online.
Have you checked?
And
like,
I've showed
the statistics on how many people have searched like that.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's why I'm going to show everybody exactly how to do it.
Because I feel like it's gone up. It's like people are like, oh, I just got laid off.
I mean, e-commerce is up. I mean, yeah, you know what? Like local businesses where you have to physically go in are kind of like down maybe 25 to 35% if they have, you know, scheduled scenarios. But I will say that I will say that there's a lot of hope in e-commerce, and this opens up a door for people who were curious before or didn't know how to do it or did it the wrong way. Because even people in the past, and I'm not saying, I'm not nanny poo-pooing anybody, but like there's some people who in the past who tried it in the past who just didn't know how to do it correctly. And, I made a ton of mistakes. I've learned, I've grown. I mean, I've been doing this for fucking 20 years. And yeah, there's a methodology that, and there's a certain perseverance you have to have as well. And I'll show you guys how to do it. So, if you hit subscribe. And there's also a link in the description I'm going to put in there. If you want, and and at the moment, if you don't have anything and you want to scale from nothing, this is your opportunity. This is, this builds opportunity. As crazy as this is, there's so much opportunity. It's fucking amazing to me how much opportunity is. And people just see it as a bad thing. They're like, oh, listen, there are bad aspects to it, but there is so much. And dude, like, I gotta show you, man. It's fucking crazy how much there is. It really is phenomenal. And there's a lot of money, and it's gonna, and even in like other recessions, like 2008, 2009, a lot of tech companies came out of the woodwork. It's because there were creative flows, and then they put the processes in. And I can't begin to tell you that we can all sit here and think about like, woe is me, my job, I'm off, there's no fucking work, there's making money, but if you take the process of something that somebody needs or wants, and then layer it with the proper process, there's money to be made here. Dude, e-com is blowing up. There's more money. Dude, Amazon's going to see, if anybody's stock is going to go up, it's going to be Amazon's, it's going to be Shopify's, it's going to be a ton of fucking people that have leveraged the ability to not be somewhere. And even stuff like, this company's like Airbnb, it was spawned. Airbnb, I think Spotify, they were all spawned out of the recession of 2008, 2009. They all came out. That's where they came from. There was all because there was just like, oh, well, we can't afford to do this, so we'll do this. You've got these times of woe and whatever, the people that take this and they create something new of value are the people who are going to win the war. Because we're not even at the tip of the iceberg yet, because more people are going to get sick. This is going to be in the like I said, in the health ecosystem of human beings. It's going to be here still. It's not going anywhere. It's still going to be for months at a time. And it's really about you raising the bar physically, mentally, emotionally, and once you be able to do that, then the financial portion will come, and that's it. And that's really it. And yeah, I mean, and you could say to me, oh, well, easier said than done, Dave, but fuck you, man. If anybody who says that to me, fuck you, because there's a lot of people out there know that I had nothing. I started with nothing. I started with this right here. This is the most powerful thing. You can go to school to be a programmer, and you get fucking wiped out. You can go to school to be a steam fitter. You can do all these technical fucking jobs all day long. You can do all these technical jobs, and you and 10 million other fucking people can do technical jobs. But the thing about it is that the creative flow and understanding people, business, and kind of looking ahead of the curve is what separates you from everybody else. So taking all of that technical knowledge, and it's not that it's important not to have that technical knowledge, but taking that and being able to mold it together with the creative makes you a fucking killer in being able to scale business and yourself and be able to grow. And listen, it's not something that I learned overnight. I was always in like a mindset. I had, these mistakes that are made, but that's why guys like me are here. That's why there's other people in the space that teach and learn and show, because listen, I can fucking sit around and eat spicy Cheetos all day fucking too. Watching, episodes of Friends from fucking 25 years ago. But what good is that going to do me? For more than like 30 minutes of my life. It's not gonna solve all these problems. I'm not gonna wait for the government to fucking give me I'm not gonna wait for the banks. So, oh, thank you, Mr. Banker. Can I give you some more inflated money? Oh yeah, inflation's great. Oh wait, it costs $18 now for a loaf of bread and a container of milk. Oh, okay. You know, and then it's just like that's not the answer. That's not the answer. But hey, guys, speaking of answers.
It is.
Well, yeah, but that's why we're here, and that's why you're watching. Yeah. So if you're watching for the first time, I just want
to add on to that real quick. Like, I think we were talking a little bit earlier about like offering people value, not being selfish. Is like, oh, like how can I survive? But like, in order for you to benefit, like you were saying, like
because you have to offer value.
Like thinking about ways to help other people.
You help other people get what they want, you're gonna get what you want.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing is that when you paper chase all the time and you're just looking for everyone's like, how do I make more money? No, how do I solve this problem? How do I service somebody? How do I come out with this? That's really
even
the
just
core.
Helping people in your community,
and helping people in your community, dude. I got a video I'll post it on my Instagram. I don't give a shit, dude. I was bartering. I was fucking going old school. I was bartering fucking lemons for eggs. I was like, I was doing Santa Claus shit just because I was like, you know what, let me just do this.
Oh, and you're giving away lemons for eggs?
Yeah, I was giving away lemons for whatever you had because I have fucking lemons. And when life gives you lemons, you fucking trade the excess for whatever else you don't want.
I'd take the lemons over the eggs.
Well, I have a lot of lemons. I don't need any more lemons. I have tons of lemons.
I'm a huge lemon guy.
And lemons are expensive. When you go to the store, you get a lemon. It's like fucking 75 cents a lemon. I gave you a half a dozen lemons.
Lemon with, or I mean,
limoncello.
Lemons, sanitizer.
Yeah, exactly. You can make sanitizer, dude. Like lemon water is really good for you. But ultimately, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you guys are watching for this first time, don't forget to go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/David Scarpetta, and also don't forget to subscribe to the Get It podcast. And just type it "Get It Podcast" on YouTube, and you'll see that. And it'll also be links in the description.
We'll have a website for that.
Yeah,
soon, right?
And for the website. I'm gonna have links in the description of these videos for the T-shirts that I talked about, for the course. This is a really important episode. So again, if you're on social media and you're watching me on, let's say, Facebook Live or Instagram or whatever, just go to the YouTube channel. Go there. There'll be links there, and of course, I'll even put it on my own site as well. Yeah. So, hey guys, listen, breathe easy, stay, ahead of the curve.
Calm, stay
don't just drop the curve by staying in your house. Stay ahead of the curve, because if the curve, if you stay ahead, and it doesn't make a difference how high the curve goes, because you'll be ahead of it. So, hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm David Scarpetta. That's Hakeem. Okay, Hakeem looking like a fucking a Wild West, like a Wild West fucking like criminal. Don't forget to search us again, and make sure you subscribe. Again, I have this course that's gonna fucking change your life, and if you're sitting around eating spicy Cheetos, that's not gonna help you. All right, guys, I'm gonna talk to you guys next time. Peace.